I mentioned that we've had this past effort on our two governors' parts to get greater efficiencies in our buildings. But one of the conundrums that you face with a historic building like the state capitol and our legislative office building across the street is that when you make improvements, you want to retain and respect the architectural integrity and the historic character of the building. So that can often affect your choices in terms of the efficiency improvements. So meeting with the Sacramento Municipal Utility District, of course, they were well aware of these features of our two buildings. And we said, look, what proposals do you have for us? What would be the best measures that we could implement in the two buildings that give us the greatest efficiencies, achieving the two other things I mentioned, the architectural integrity and the historic character, and yet also not break our bank, because while we are out of deficit at the moment, we certainly don't have a lot of capital to put out in outlays. So SMUD was brilliant, really identified ways that we could upgrade the heating and cooling system without making great changes to either the internal walls or the facade of the building, and installing state-of-the-art lighting technologies, efficient lighting. So in the HVAC system, there were controls put on. I'll let them describe it. We also installed software so that the HVAC system automatically responds to peak periods, and it's not just going at the same temperature 24/7. We also set it so it shuts down in the night. And then we replaced 1,500 bulbs with LED lights. And LED lights are, depending on what you're replacing, from 70 to 90% more efficient than the bulbs that you're replacing them with. And the measures alone that SMUD worked with us on will reduce both of the buildings, legislative office building and this building, our energy consumption by 21%, or 2.6 million kilowatt hours a year. And that translates into dollar amounts to taxpayers, $278,000. Now, we also worked internally on some other things. DGS, our brilliant partner, helped conceive of the idea of collecting the coffee grounds. Obviously, almost every office in this building makes coffee every morning, so the coffee grounds are now being collected and incorporated in the compost that is used in our Capitol Park. Additionally, our chief clerk, who's responsible for the Assembly's printing, helped us greatly reduce the amount of materials that the Assembly is now printing. We also programmed all of the copiers to be two-sided. And then the other thing that we did is, oftentimes while we can encourage people to have good behaviors, they forget to put their computers on sleep mode. And so we programmed, since all of the computers are in the building, are in a central server that does the backup, we basically programmed all the computers in the building to go into sleep mode during certain hours, mostly at night, when they're not in use. And that alone, the sleep mode of all the computers, is going to save us $70,000 in electricity costs over the course of the year. So in total, the various things that we've undertaken, the paper and printing reduction, the sleep modes of the computers, what SMUD has worked with us on, is going to save taxpayers $500,000 just from these two buildings.